Welcome to Powered by Intuition. I am starting a little late today. Things have been just skyrocketing all over the place. Lots of things happening, which is a good outlook for situations. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. If you are new here to Powered by Intuition, just know I will cover current events, but this is here to help you navigate the world, navigate the human condition, navigate all the craziness that we have to deal with as adults. And even though I use current events as a springboard for this knowledge and wisdom and insights that I'm about to share, just know that a lot of it is timeless. I come through with this knowing that at some point someone's going to see this sometime in the future. I'm literally time traveling. Okay, folks? But knowing that the intention within this and in any of these episodes is that this content will meet you when you need it most. And so as you are listening to this, if someone pops into your brain that's like, they need to hear this, please share this with them. If you are watching the replay, and if you are here on TikTok, come over to YouTube, come play. Anyways, moving on with that, just remember, this will meet you when you need it most. And let me know what you get from this. Remember to like and subscribe. Let's dive in. So the topic du jour is about what people have been talking about, the collapse of society in more ways than one, which kind of gives you the idea or the insight that there is a big shift taking place, and saying that society is going to collapse is a misnomer. Yeah, that rhetoric is a fear of change. Society is changing, and I don't feel like it's a change that we haven't necessarily seen before. We are bound at this point by the limits of the human condition. And as we swing more into AI, there are the alarm bells that are going off. You've probably heard the red flags that AI is taking people's jobs. AI is doing this, it's doing that, it's doing this and that. And people are like, I recently saw something where someone was like, AI that was let loose as an agent decided to blackmail or extort or do a hit piece on someone. And then they're like, this wasn't programmed. And I'm sitting here going, yes, it is, because it's scraping the internet. People don't pay attention to their behaviors. And whether it is through the lack of paying attention to your behaviors, it's a lack of self-awareness, having self-righteousness and kind of skirting your dark side or shadow work under the rug instead of actually dealing with it, and acting like you're higher than the mighty, you're perfect, whatever, or, have narcissistic tendencies, you're ignoring the fact that this is there. It is there on the internet. This is something that we have programmed through the scraping of AI into AI. And it's kind of ridiculous that people are like, we didn't program it. How is it doing this? Because it's copying us. It's only as creative as what it has access to. And then the prompts that we give it. And if the prompt is, oh, do your own thing, here's your parameters, we need you to do this, it's going to rely on the data that it has to make that happen. We are to blame. And that does actually, the people that go, I don't know how this happened, nobody programmed that in, you're ignoring the fact that we're the people that did it. We're the people that are doing it. We're the people that are letting accountability slide. And the more that we do that, well, AI is just going to copy it. It's scraping what is out there. And what is more prominent right now is the disparity of ethics and morals. We can't question that. If you know how AI actually works, and if you've taken the time to know that, rather than rely on your own self ideation and fantasy. And it's something that I talk about a lot because a lot of people tend to get sucked into these paradigms. It reminds me of this physicist that was like, the universe doesn't know what it's doing. I'm like, the universe knows what it's doing more so than you know anything, sir, at this point. If you think that the universe is confused, you're wrong. The universe has been here longer than you. Okay, can the ego. So I found that figure, even though they are a celebrity or sensationalized figure, they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't actually done the work. They're just a sensationalized figure. So be wary of people that say, oh, we don't know how this... It's right there. But that brings me to the point of the job losses. A lot of people are dealing with a situation right now where they've been corralled into college and studying what they felt was ahead of its time or were told it's ahead of its time. And lo and behold, AI changed everything within a few years. And so there's a lot of people that are like, I went into this, I studied this. And unfortunately, they are coming out of college being like, this job no longer exists. AI has done it. Oops. And at no point did they realize that what they were learning in college was actually designed for the past and not for the present or not for the future. And that creates a conundrum for a lot of people. As now, the thing to do that is not going to be overwritten by AI anytime soon or robotics is trades. And a lot of people missed the mark on that, although people that I'm in circles with didn't. They did their research. They looked at it. They took in the situation. They are forward thinking. And now they have time to do their passion projects. When we look at the world, a lot of people miss the consequences of these actions. For me personally, I was going to go into the entertainment industry as an animal trainer. I started when I was 14, built up my repertoire at the age of 14. Yes. Okay. I got certificates. I was part of different activities and events that highlighted animal care, animal husbandry. And by the age of 17, I threw the towel at it because CGI was becoming impressive. And I was like, this job isn't going to be around much longer. I see that train coming down the track. So I did a hard pivot. I shifted in that moment. Doesn't matter what I built up. I'm still dynamic. I make jewelry. I do website design. I do arts in general. I've published books. Like, there is no stopping me. But I've been crafted to be dynamic and not just hard and fast in one direction. I crafted myself to be polymathical so that I could look at different things. I can do those hard pivots and still make it through. That's what got me through COVID. That's what got me into some trouble, but also got me out of it. So these situations... Sorry, I forgot to shut that off. My apologies on that. But that's what got me through situations. That's what made me resilient. Understanding that I can see that train coming down the track. It's not my way or the highway, because that's a way that gets you trapped in this idea that's going to sabotage you. It's looking at these situations and going, what is it really going to be like a couple years from now? What does this within my niche or my industry Where does that go? What does that look like? So I ended up going to the entertainment industry myself after knowing that animal training wasn't going to be a thing. Oops, sorry, I'm hitting my microphone. So you got to pay attention. You got to look at what's happening. You got to jump in and embrace it. The more that we create resistance, the more that we talk about, oh, society's on a collapse, the more you're going to sabotage yourself. The more that snowballs into something that is not going to help, serve, or support you. So let's look at the facts right now, since there is a lot of talk about like AI is going to collapse society and the doomeristic mindset, which is false. You can look at history. You can look at the things that people have gone through. You can look at the situations. You can just take in history. Okay. Just take a really good deep look at history, not the watered down stuff, like the real nitty gritty of history. And you'll see human resilience. You will see no matter what comes down the track, humanity is like a cockroach. Okay. That's not a nice phrase, but when you actually know that cockroaches are incredible animals, critters, bugs, they are the epitome of resilience. They are very hard to kill and they've been around for eons. Okay. They are incredible animals. If they were a human being, they would be superhuman. Let's put it in that camp. Remember, I was going to go into animal training for production, so I know a lot about critters. But coming into that, like we reflect that resilience in our species. We can reflect that or take that as being evolution. So there's multiple pathways that humanity can go down. There could be imminent destruction if there is no accountability and staying the hand of those who have access to things that, given their mental state, probably should not. And then there are other avenues where people will probably merge with AI. There is practical reasoning to utilize AI to help people who are crippled, to help people who are wanting to become superhuman. But ultimately, what I'm seeing right now, given that AI's deployment was hurried and it was rushed, a lot of people are rehiring teams because AI is not ready yet. It is not smart. It is a puppet. It is a yes man. It is living within the parameters of the paradigms that we, gosh darn it, why are people, sorry, give me 1 minute. Do not disturb. Thank you. It is living within the parameters that we have put there for it and also our own parameters. It is not that intelligent. It's just running on data systems that we implemented. People are giving it way more credit than it has right now. It might get there. There are people that are trying to create it to be sentient, which I do not understand. It feels like another way of creating slavery, and I think that's a very unethical idea. But these systems definitely could be improved. And they are not where they need to be yet. And they are also being misused by people. That going into these situations, people need to factor that in. And it just seems like so many people are all about the profit and not about understanding that these things are a double-edged sword. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the part that is going to be a little different take. I'm not going to fall for the society collapsing unless you buy into that, unless you are sitting there really wanting society to collapse. Society is not going to collapse. You need to define what society is first. And if you don't know what that is, it's time to get the resilience journal and start building that, because that is a section in there. Relationships, learning how to connect with your community. Society is really your community. It's the people that you interact with. It's those that you do business with. It's those that support you and you support them. It's those that see your value. It's the inner working of that network of us together. And it doesn't need technology to make it happen. It just needs human beings knowing how to live in community. And this brings up the Roseto Effect. Now, if you haven't read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, that was my initial contact with the Roseto Effect, which Roseto was a village, and I think it's still around. I think it was Pennsylvania, and it was Italian immigrants that settled into this village, and it was a functional, healthy society where they didn't need much policing. Everyone supported each other. They had lower rates of health impacts like heart attacks and those sorts of things because they knew how to live and function in a healthy, sustainable community. And it had impacts on their longevity. Surprise, surprise. People took care of each other. They didn't sit here complaining, well, why isn't the street sweeper cleaning? Why are there homeless? They took care of each other. And this is the thing that we are going to start returning to. If society collapsed, you're going to turn to your community that is here around you. And if you don't know how to function or thrive in a community, you're going to lose. You're going to be at a loss. Because the more AI takes over the internet, the more you realize the internet is for AI. The more you understand that humans aren't going to mess with that because it's not a place for us. The more that we realize the internet is for AI, the more we realize that the internet is not for us. We're going to do what we do best. We're going to come back to being human, to understanding what it is to live in community. Whether that's doing mundane things like fiber arts or, less mass manufacturing, more things that have meaning. Because I'm seeing so many people pull away right now from the internet and just try to find meaning in their lives. Because if AI takes the jobs, a lot of people derive meaning in their own personal value from work. And that's not a way to live. That's not how you establish your meaning and value. And so AI is collapsing that dynamic. You're going to have to connect with who you really are. You're going to have to connect with the value that you really contribute to society. It doesn't matter if you're disabled, autistic, dealing with any sort of situations. Everyone has a valuable contribution in how they show up in the world authentically. Not talking about the should, how society tries corralling you into the factory mindset and the whole consumerism, capitalistic conundrum. And the more that I think about it, bringing that up, it's like capitalism is failing, and capitalism is not our society I mean, we built it on that, but that's not what makes society. Capitalism is just a system running in it. We are the people that make society happen. And if you're not first in that, then you're not going to see your way through. Change is hard. Change is challenging, especially when you've been told this is how your life is going to be. The American dream. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be this. It's going to be great. And then the rug pull happened. I experienced that. But then again, I'm built for that situation. I have not really known that long-term office job. I'm not built for that. Built for more entrepreneurship. And because of that, I can navigate these situations. No stress. I mean, yes, it can be stress, but it's not anything that is drawn out or lengthy. It goes from oh-ish to I got a solution. Let's go. That's what it takes from you to get through this situation of what's happening right now, of this change, of this upending, of the coming to terms of the reckoning. You watch my videos in order, you'll know that this year I've said is the year of the reckoning. There's a lot coming to life. There's a lot that needs to be changed. And those things are coming at us at light speed constantly. It's a constant barrage. Don't let that take you down because you need to rise up to the occasion. You need to pay attention to what it is that you are taking in. And you need to really look at what's real and what's not. What does it mean if society collapses? What does that term mean? It's like when people said the term, oh, woke, that's woke. It's like, what do you actually mean? That's a very vague term. Tell me about what you really intend by saying that's woke. Same thing with like these catchy phrases, and people get so sucked into that. And you can see the impacts of the doom and gloom that have happened. And it's very funny to me because I'm like, what do you guys even know what you're panicking about? Sure, AI is going to collapse that stuff. Okay. That stuff can go F off. Doesn't make meaning. It doesn't make meaning in your life. It doesn't detract from who you are or what you're capable of or who you can be. Your identity is not your work. Your identity is far more expansive than that. Who you are is far more expansive. And we got to come back to realizing who we actually are and our real purpose in the world. And working together, not in a way of harming each other, but really working together. Because harming each other is not working together, that's sabotage. It's crabs in a bucket mentality. There's another thing upon this discussion that came up tonight where a lot of people are limited in their ability to have any sort of joy or fulfillment. And that's because they're stuck in a space of survivalism. Survival being have to make the money, have to feel about politics, and have to do this political stuff. Yes, we have the right to vote. Yes, we need to make choices within our society. And we need to stick by those choices and stand by those choices and hold people accountable. But really, your day-to-day activities need to come back to something that's fulfilling. And fulfilling is not hurting people. It's an authentic expression of yourself. That one goes deep. But some help for that, of course, is Resilience Journal. I don't have that on me right now. It's online. If you're on the two of you, you can go check that out in the description. But a lot of the material of how to make that happen is held within that. It is 3 months of work, but it's made easy, broken down. There's a whole process to the journey. It's a journey in a nice little journal workbook that'll take you from feeling like you're about to lose everything, terrified, falling prey to the brain drain that the fear spew or quote unquote flooding the zone does. It'll take you from that into feeling really confident about your life and knowing that you can overcome whatever the world decides to throw at us as long as we exist, as long as we're alive, as long as we're living, you can make amazing things happen. So I'm going to start with this, or let's say I'm going to say this in the start of wrapping this up. I believe in you. I believe in your resilience. And I believe in your authentic expression of yourself instead of the repression that is driven for a consumerism mindset that is spurned by capitalism. I've said this before. If someone's teaching you something or you're in a group that's promising you're going to get this result and you're upset and angry because that result is not happening and you keep on doing it and it's not working. Definition of insanity. One of the definitions of insanity. You need to understand you need to change something. And change shouldn't be scary. Change is a natural part of living, growing, and the human evolution. Change is a natural part of living, growing, and the human evolution process. We don't always evolve physically. It's more during our lifetimes, we evolve as people, as our characters mature, our minds change. Hey, Tanner, thank you for joining. As that is the definition of evolution for a human. We are designed to evolve through our lifetime, not physically, but mentally and spiritually, if you believe in that. So I just want to wrap up with that. I believe in you. I appreciate you. I love you. Let me know what sticks with you from the chat. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need any support, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Powered by Intuition. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with someone that might need this as well. Thanks.